Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect in the darkest hours of the night here in the game. Today's beverage is a very nice lemon tea, however I fear it is absolutely loaded with sugar, very sweet indeed. Either way, welcome back to the game, and previously we were spending a lot of money, but spending it in the right place, which is always a reason to do it, I guess. Getting in this sort of universal room building at the bottom where we've just got pretty much the same size rooms. What are they? They are a total of 8 by 8, so these can be all manner of things. I already know one's going to be cleaning cupboard, laundry, infirmary. Yeah, we can even do chapels and things like that. And anyway, we also planned off the cell block A, which we'll be completing in this episode. Obviously, we went for land expansion, we went for small cells, green energy, we've got all of the forestry. Yeah, we've actually done a fair amount, although it might not feel like it. Either way, let's crack on and do some building. I'm going to go over to rooms and infirmary. And I'm going to have the infirmary, this area here. It's going to be in the centre. In fact, I'm going to go over to cleaning cupboard as well and designate the one next to it as cleaning cupboard, and then a laundry, which will go to the right of that one. But my goal isn't to build the laundry just yet. We might get on with that later on. A couple of doctors and a psychologist is what's needed. Yeah, so my plan isn't to build that necessarily, but I do want to get the infirmary just for the inmate health and well-being. I'm also going to pick up prisoner acclimatization and engagement. That should be actually very easy to do. Let's just go over to logistics and prison labour and just assign people to that. And I can't actually assign it to the kitchen because apparently I have designated that as kitchen, which surprises me so. And there is that grant done. That was easily enough done. I'm just gonna max out all the jobs that are available for this thing, because why not? There we go. Over to, let's see, maybe security procedures certification. I'm going to get rid of the bank loan because we don't need it, and then spend a lot of money. I'm gonna go with surveillance, deployment, intelligence, patrols, remote access, armory. Cancel that actually because I don't want it. I've spent the money, I might as well research it. Farming and forestry, I'm going to pick up both of those as well. So we spent a fair bit of money and we're down to 61,000 generic units of currency. My question is, do I want to spend some of that money on an offshore tax haven and just accept that we've got a really, really good tax situation at the very start of the game? I think I do want to do that, but not necessarily right now. What I do want to do... there we go. I've just got a grant completion for doing this one. You know what? I'm going to do it. I think we can... I'm pretty confident we can get this built with the funds available. Okay. We also have another option for grants, which is... maybe... I got bakery and farming. Up the top here, I did say we're going to go with farming. I'm very tempted just to go with forestry, because we've done a work facility relatively recently, and that's not what this is focused on. We are going to give the prisoners lots of opportunity for work, but that's only so they could get the money so we can then fine them for the contraband that we're sniffing out. That's the goal. I'll go with visitation rights because it's a good one for now. And yeah, let's go ahead and... I don't know why the doors have not saved on this one. It's very curious. Over to walls and doors and to jail door here. And what I'm going to do is basically copy the pattern that's at the top. Now, the reason... I don't know if I've mentioned it actually on the previous episode, why I've laid them out like so, is because the first 10 on the left, the doors face to the left, and then the doors on the right face to the right. The reason for that is you can get the toilet, which is going to go and basically be at one side, and that's the idea. So you can, have a little bit extra. Let's go with door secure. This is the, obviously, solitary area. Spending money here that we don't necessarily need to spend, but it's fine. It will be fine. And let's go ahead and put the central bits in. Have to run right down the middle, and then these bits, yeah. Obviously, we don't need to... Oh, yeah, this is why I was putting the doors in, because I know people are going to lock themselves in. Just a bit conscious about money here. Obviously, spending on all of this, but I think we'll be fine. We only need beds and toilets, and then the other stuff we'll get once we've completed the grant. I can always pick up a big loan as well if need be. And remember, we are intaking cash money anyway, for the daily cash flow, even though we've got, you know, the people that we have. There's the power export. Power export's not great, and it'll get a lot worse when we connect up the metal detectors. I've planned off for loads of metal detectors. Truth be told, I don't think I'll put in even half of what I've planned. The mandatory ones, in my opinion, are the ones into the canteen here, and potentially the exits from the one I'm going to say is the farming area, but it may become forestry. That's a game time decision. I'm also probably going to shrink the yard down to change this up. So those two entrances on the left and right, and then in the centre here. So that's still going to be a lot of power. So we'll see how we get on, shall we? Over to rooms and to cells, and obviously I want to designate all of this as cells, which I've now done. In fact, while I'm here, I'm going to go with solitary, which is going to go on the left and the right. So those are legitimate solitary cells. You don't need anything in them, even though people always, or often rather, say, oh yeah, you should put in toilets in there. No, it's not something you don't need. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I'm going to do this one here because I basically am running out of money. But in order to have this legitimate, all I need is a couple of these toilets, and I think that is just close enough. I might just get the grant done. Yeah, alright. So I do need to set up guards to patrol routes, but that's just for the sake of the grant. So let's go with magenta, like that, and go 1, 2, 3 for the assignment of guards. And then I need you to hire some more guards. So I will get that done shortly. Oh, look at that. We need one more bed for this to be legitimate. Alright, so I need just a little bit of money. Is something I can sell? Let me go over to storage. And we've got a lot of lighting, which we could probably... Well, we do need to install... Actually, to be fair, we need to install that lighting. Let's do that. Where am I going to put the lights? It's a fairly obvious choice for me, truth be told. The lights are going to go in front of the doorway. And wait, there we go. There's that cash flow. And that means that we can go with those two. And that'll give us the cell block A. And then after that, I'm going to be spamming some more guards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's another grant completed. I'm going to go with cell block B and governmental security ratings. And yeah, we've got offshore tax haven. Tasers and body armor. Well, body armor is the easy one. CCTV improvement, doggos. We need all of this anyway for the grant. And where do I want to go from here? Well, I want to finish off these cells is the main goal. So we'll do that. And yeah, clicky, clicky, draggy, draggy, all the way to the end, and then same on this side. This is not going to get the grant done, but it is going to progress our, progress the facility. So that's all good. We need to do this anyway, and once it's completed, this will just become a clone problem. So spending the time now is going to massively pay off later on down the line. At least that's what I hope. We'll see if that statement actually holds water, as some people say. A curious turn of phrase. As is the turn of phrase. Let's, oh no, that's not what I meant. That's a word now. Right, okay, words are hard today, especially hard normally, but yeah. Let's go ahead and put in all of the lighting, and obviously I'll need some power and water in here. That's something I haven't yet budgeted for. And we're doing 40,000 generic units of currency. Shower heads, which are going to go like so. And let's see about going to there, and then we'll do the other side. Why not? Here, and there's that done. Toilets are in the solitary. Don't intend on having. That's a shame. Don't intend on having in any showers. People often remind me about the putting in the toilets in that area, but you don't need it. I don't think you need it. It's just, I think it's sort of a bit of a habit for people to do, which I totally get. That's not what I meant. So obviously these are 2x2 cells. And I think if you box clever, You can get them as like an L shape. But I don't think you save space because you're basically just putting in more water. Water? I was looking at that, that's why I said water. No, you're basically putting in more wall. So, yeah, that's a thing. And I think that's about right. Why is that not... Oh, apparently I haven't done the doors on this side. Okay, walls and doors, and... There's M3. Okay, power is going to run in like so. Did I put lighting in here? Don't think I did, no. It's alright. 1, 2, 3 lights. And 1, 2, 3. So those are in. That's alright, that's all good. So, the next thing then is assign 2 dog handlers to a dog patrol and assign 2 armed guards to a patrol as well. Well, I haven't got... How much money have I got? I've got 34 grand. Okay. I think a little bit of that I'm going to have to designate as wind-solar hybrid. I think I'm going to spend... that much. Okay. Just to try and get that export. And the next thing we need to do is do visitation and common room. Now, I can do that, and visitation will go in here, but for the sake of a grant completion, visitation is now going to be here. Obviously, everything we do, we can redo when we need to do that. There's visitation. We also need a common room, which is going to go up the top, but I probably won't build that when the prisoners arrive. And what do we need in this one? 2 TVs, at least 5 phone booths. TVs, was it also pool tables? A single pool table. So that's table football, no. So it wants 2 TVs, 1, 2, and a pool table. And then I am going to go to building brick and build this. The reason for that is we need a canteen. You know, we're gonna need one anyway, so I might as well put it in over here. For doors, then I'm gonna go with a large jail door. We will put in some door control systems at some point. Something we will end up doing, which is handy. Looks like the workers now are busy chopping down. So how many people do we have in gardeners? We have 4 gardeners. I am not convinced we need 4 gardeners, because gardeners, they plant trees, they don't chop them down. So it's a very seasonal thing, and I don't want to be paying too much for people to just sort of sit around, really. That's something I don't want to look at. Anyway, I've ordered pretty much everything I need, apart from the pool tables are in. We don't have any phone booths. The phone booths are going to be positioned in the canteen, but obviously it's going to take a little while for the guys to do that, so I'll just put them over here. Now there is definitely a argument to be made to be sort of firing the guards, because obviously you're paying a wage on them, but then if you do that, you don't get the option to rank them up because they haven't been in here long enough. So we'll see how we get on. I'm probably going to keep them because it feels like we could get inmates sooner rather than later. Need to flesh out the kitchen, need to do the laundry, need to do reception, need to get in extra patrols, but a lot of the basics are in. Yeah, okay. Deployment then. Staff only is going to be obviously the opposite side, which we do need to wall this in at some point, I'm sure. And all of that is going to be staff only as well, which is good. The rest of it will just be shared, and I'm waiting for them to do the visitor room. I'm going to prioritise the building of the visitation, because once they do that, have we got it on site? Yes, we have. There's a visitor table there. That'll give us that grant, which is done now, and then I can pause the game and basically cancel the remaining of it. I can dismantle the other stuff and then remove the room designation, and then that sort of cleans things up a little bit, doesn't it? Okay, fine. So over to grants again. We've got license plates, reoffending rate. We're on to that point now where I can't just pick up grants for the sake of getting them and not having prisoners. Like, a lot of the grants are there to get your prison up and running and give you that capital. I can't do that now because a lot of them are, you know, the guys need to actually, be in the facility. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, let's just set up a basic regime. It's going to be a standard affair. We've done this 1,000,001 times before, maybe 1,000,002. So it's going to be a bit of sleep time, then a bit of free time. Then we go eat, 1, 2, eat at the back there as well. And then it's going to be work free time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and okay. Do I go 5? How many programs actually last for just an hour? 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours. 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour. Okay, there are some odd numbers, so there is some argument to be made for work lockup for having 5 hours. Okay, we'll stick with that. See how we get on. So, assigned 2 dog handlers to a patrol route. We can do that. What I'm going to do is go to quick build, and I've just realised that that's in concrete. The reason for that is it defaults on the load. Alright, so building brick. Where's just brick wall? There it is. I'm going to redo it because it's going to bug me otherwise. I know it's spending money where we don't need to, but quick build and security, which is going to go as a brick wall, and it's going to go probably over here. Is that acceptable? I mean, it's fine. I'm going to build a security room, then a kennel, and then an armory. Oh, that's concrete again. Why? Cancel, 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 cancel. Brick. Right. Kennel. That's not kennel. That's quennel. That goes in there. Kennel. Security. Yes. Armory. Some weird positions. I should have built it from the right onwards. If I cancel it again, it's just going to reorder things, and I don't think I can. I don't think I can stomach that. Raise prisoner capacity to 50. We're working on it. We are working on it. So, once this is in, that'll then allow me to hire and get the governmental security rating done. I'm also going to pick up a grant that's going to give me a really good advanced payment. Tracker pilot scheme is always a good one, which we've done. And I think I'm going to have to put in the fencing in this place. Yeah. And is there a door control system in that? Is that a door control system? Sure, that's a door control system. I'll run in some power into these rooms. Most of them don't need anything other than just a passive power connection. And now what's going to happen is the staff are going to buy a lot of stuff. 1, 2 armed guards and 2 doggo patrols. There we go. And we need to assign the patrols on that one. Deployment patrols, dog handlers, and armed guards. So that's done. So we can cancel those. Remove the dog handlers, or at least the patrols, and standard guard patrol, we can remove those. Magenta, get rid of all of that. And sorry guys, but let's see about going to staff and armed guard. We're getting rid. I don't plan on having them on site. That was never the intention. Unlock tasers through bureaucracy. We'll pick that up there. I don't know if we need guard towers actually. It doesn't say. No. So this is built, which is good. I'm going to put in the brick wall like so, and then the metal detectors in here and here, and this is going to be a canteen. So canteen, full designation here, and objects wise, swerving table can be swerving up the top, and we're going to have in table like so. Obviously there's no lighting on this one, I'll have to sort that out as well, but that's fine. And some of this anyway we have already on site, because we used it as a temporary thing. Lighting then, I'm just going to put it just above the end here, which should be sufficient. And bin, we got a recycling bin, which goes there. And, oh, just a standard bin. I keep typing bin. There's the bins. Okay, so that's a canteen. Utilities, something like that. Okay, so a couple of things we need to focus on. So these cells, I haven't got any windows glass. We could do window glass. I could go with window. Just this is a standard window. I like the idea of the bars on here. So this is actually going to increase the rating of the cell. At the moment, the cell's rating will be very poor because it's undersized. I mean, it does have a shower in there, but I don't know if that actually increases the rating or not. I can't actually recall. I'm going to put them on the solitary as well, although you wouldn't really, would you? But there you go. Did that go there? It did. Yeah, so this is going to, like I say, increase the rating. I might have the option to check out the grading, is the technical term for it. Let's see. Logistics, room quality. So room quality, you can see, has an outdoor window. Yeah, okay. But there's no pluses for... There's no negatives, though, to be fair. There's no pluses for the room size, at least 6, 9, and 16 squares. And as you notice, there's no bonus for having in a shower, which is of note. So water. Water is going to get a very simple connection of this and this and there, but that's almost certainly not going to work because I don't think it's going to get far enough on this other side. So what I might do is cancel actually that, redo it a little bit. This should work though. The reason I'm cancelling it there, you don't necessarily need to these days, but it's just a force of habit. If you had water flowing in two directions, it could, it could not play well. Let's just say that. Water then, large water pipe, is going to run across and down, so it's flowing from both sides. It's the intention. Don't know if it's going to work. We shall see. So we need to set up some CCTV. So how are we going to do this? Well, actually, one thing I will do first is wiring door servos. Door servo goes there. Door servo goes there. Door servo also goes there. And there. And then while we're in here with CCTV, do we want to do camouflage? We could do camouflage for the outside, but the problem with doing that is I'm probably going to forget. Let's go with... let's just go with standard. So, looking that way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's CCTV in. Obviously, it will require connections. Walls and doors. Doors. Just looking at the top, 30 grand remaining. Road gate goes in here and here. And then walls, grass fence, like this. And that should be fine. Naturally, I want on some doors. We'll have a fence there, fence gate, and then the other side as well. And rest. So, everything's getting connected, which is all good. In these cells, what do I want as the flooring? Well, almost certainly I'm going to put line tiles on the outside because it'd be rude not to. Although we could go with something like moss. It's 5 per tile, whereas line tiles is 10. And then just go with concrete in here. I do like mosaic. The mosaic in these cells often looks quite nice. Do I want to do that just go for a bit different? Yes, I do. And let me reassure you, I am still mostly me. Yes, I am putting flooring in before we basically finish the series off and go, oh, flooring needs to go in. It's just force of habit. Let's put the laundry in. We need to put the laundry in at some point, so do it now. Reception, which will go... Ooh, hang on, wait. Well, metal detector first. Let's have a look. Rooms, reception. All of this. And I don't need metal detectors there because they've got one coming in. So reception is... I'm going to put an office desk there. And let's see. Why is it recommending sinks? Reception. Desk or desk? Desk's fancy, you know. Just an office chair there. And a table. You can go there. And I always put bins in. It's just a habit that I put bins in. Like that. Okay, electrical. Is that. Won't have to put any more in because of where things are positioned. The rest of it's in. These are not going to get... Oh, look at that. So I have totally looked out on this one. Where these go, the CCTV, the wiring is already going to be in. That is more luck than judgment if I'm going to absolutely throw myself under the bus on that one. Wiring, connections, door control system. 1, 2, 3. For some reason they've aborted the whole mission on that. No, there we go, they've got it done. So that's good. Phone taps we don't need to put in. And increase the size of my security force. And excellent, due to administrative error, our completion bonus has been doubled. Good. Okay, so we have 2 grants. Tracker pilot scheme, which we need to have inmates in, and cell block B, which we don't. Could I get cell block B? Possibly. But I'm not going to pick up a 3rd grant because of this whole save load bug. I think it would be of some benefit for me to simply continue on in an effort to get prisoners. Let's work on that. Kitchen. Hang on a second. Utilities. Water. That doesn't connect up. Cell utility. Like that, because it's going to follow that route. Yeah, I need to make the kitchen bigger. Well, technically the size doesn't matter. What I mean to say is we need to actually get some more goods in it. And the fact that that does that is not sitting right with me. Dismantle. And do that. There's going to be more on this side, like this, but it's going to be a bit annoying to set up. There we go, something like that. Anyway, so the kitchen's going in, the canteen is in. Now that the canteen is in, phone booths. I'm going to put 6 phone booths there, 6 phone booths there. And people have suggested you put a TV, because it then projects all the way around. That's not a terrible idea, actually. Something I've not really done that I can recall. I don't like the way they sit there, though. The fact that it's odd. Matters not. How we're doing for water? Apparently not very good. Because some of it hasn't been placed. Okay, it is what it is. And electrical's still on the way as well. Alright, well, it does feel like we've come a very decent way. And it doesn't also feel like I've been laying the track in front of the train, like it's not been a panic. A bit more wind solar hybrid in there, just to, again, increase our daily cash flow, still on positive daily cash flow. So, we've got cell block, let's call it cell block A done. We've got all of that done. And I've got in all of the things I want to have in here. So that includes the flooring, that includes the barred window, the showers, all of that. And I've just realised that the beds are facing the wrong way on these ones. I'll fix that now. I assume there's going to be more because of the rapid pace of building. There's going to be some more little errors like that. But I don't know if there's any major ones, like game-breaking ones. Yeah. Alright. So, we've got, I think now, the ability to go for deployment. Staff only like that. Perfect. Reception can be staff only. It doesn't matter if it is. The rest of it is fine. There's power export, 2,000 odd. Metal detectors are in. The rest's ordered. I'm going to prioritise the changing of the beds. Just because I can. And that one as well, I think, is it? Dismantle that one. Prioritise it. Hold Control and click. And there we go. Then we'll prioritise the rebuilding of that one. And double check water, because I have a feeling that something's not being connected up. That bit. That little elbow there. Why of all things that bit? How curious. Alright. Well, we've come a fairly decent way. Wiring-wise. CCTV. It doesn't really cover very far, but it's in technically. The other one up there needs to be put in as well. Phone taps. Are the phones in? Not all of them. I don't particularly want to start doing that because I'll end up just forgetting. Prioritise. And wiring is not in there. Why is that not in there? Because that bit's also to be installed. It's weird that they've just sacked off a couple of the jobs. They've just not bothered with it. No. It's half 4 on a Friday, matey. I've got stuff to do. CCTV. There we go. Alright. Well, phone taps are actually... Let me connect them up. Right. We're going to leave it there for now. That's been a bit prison architect. I think we've come a long way. I know we've come a long way. But really? Is that a distance thing? Yes, it is. By what? 1. Never ends. Right, there we go. Let's put these in. And to remind myself of the need to do the same thing on other sides, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll leave it there for now. That's been a bit of prison architect. We have managed to get what I think is most of what we need. Bladder, bowel, sleep, food, safety, hygiene, we can all definitely meet. Family, sort of, by the phone tap. Exercise, technically via the yard, even though it's not like, it's not got anything in there, a yard will do it. Comfort, environment, privacy, freedom, clothing, all done. We haven't got spirituality, luxuries, or literature, but those will never get into a critical need. They can only go to high. So technically, if we wanted to, we could receive inmates. We could receive inmates. We will be receiving inmates in the next episode. What type of inmates? I have no idea. Let me know what you think about that one. I'm very tempted to not go with minimum. I think medium is probably a nice middle ground, but we will give it probably another in-game day because we need to set up patrols, we need to set up, well, more things in here. As you can see, wiring is just not something we've completed just yet. I probably need to go ahead and look at maybe proper visitation and maybe some sort of entertainment somewhere. Yeah, but it's definitely doable for next episode, which is what we'll look at doing. Either way, we're leaving it there for now. And as always, comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. And generic partings.